All praises and honor and glory give to Modimo, the creator of all things. My name is Brother Moapare, and I welcome you back to our channel. And greetings to all of you, those of you who are out there, my Bantu brothers and sisters. Okay, in today's video, we will be looking at the Setswana expressions, okay, that are actually found in the Bible. Okay, so we'll be looking at some of them are what we will call the ane maele. Okay, we haven't touched on the tamalakanes. Okay, so these are Setswana proverbs. Okay, that's how we say it, and we are going back to our roots. Okay, so the first one that I have on the list is this one. O se bone nong go rakalala godimo go ya tlase ke ga yone. Any Motswana, man, woman, and child knows this expression very, very well. O se bone nong go rakalala godimo go ya tlase ke ga yone. Okay. Now, nong is normally birds that are carnivores, okay, that eat meat only, okay, meat eaters, okay, like an eagle, like vultures, and all that. Okay, so we looked at some few passages when the Lord was speaking to the nations that he has cast, or the nations that he's going to punish. Okay, Obadiah chapter 1 verses 4. Okay, these are the Edomites. Okay, the children of Esau, Esau. Okay, and these are the Obadiah. I would like you to read Obadiah, just one chapter. Okay, all right. Let's read verse 4. Thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou that set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Okay, so if I have to directly translate this expression, is talking about that don't see an eagle, flying way high, pridefully flying way high, above, its ways are to come, down. Okay, so all right, so because of these nations are prideful, okay, we can maybe share a similar expression that pride comes first before the fall. Okay, let's look at also Jeremiah 49. Okay, this is Jeremiah chapter 49. Thy terribleness hath deceived thee. Okay, so these nations are very powerful. They call themselves, first class countries, while we are labeled third, poor countries. You see, and they say they are superpowers and they have nuclears and all these things that they relying in their own strength. Okay, so the Lord also speaks about Edom. Okay, thy terribleness have deceived thee. Okay, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill, thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle. I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord. Okay, so these are expressions that are in conformity with these proverbs, the Setswana proverbs. O se bone no go rakalala godimo go ya tlase ke ga yone. Okay, all right. Okay, and also this just is evidence, another evidence that indeed the Bible is truly the history and culture of our people. Okay, So it's the history and culture of our people. So we are trying to, Gentiles, they are imagining a vain thing. They are imagining that, oh, okay, we are all in, whether it doesn't matter. No, which nations. In the Bible, it did matter whether you are Egyptian or whether you are Israelite or whether you are the Philistines or whether you were the Moabites. It did matter whether you were whatever nations that is mentioned there. It matters. Okay, it mattered to the Most High. It mattered even now. So we cannot there's an expression that we pick a common one. If you put your finger in front of your face, you can't hide. You see, so we're trying to become what you call it, politically correct or sugarcoating. No, in this channel we don't do such things. We share things as they are. Okay, the truth. Okay, so the second proverb, if you like, or expression, ngwana yo o sa reetseng molao wa batsadi o reetsa wa manong. Okay, ngwana o sa reetseng molao wa batsadi o reetsa wa manong, right? Excuse me. So now this is Proverbs chapter 30 verse 17. Let me read it. The eye that mocketh at his father and despiseth to obey his mother, the ravens of the valley shall pick it out, and the young eagles shall eat it. Okay, so this is if I'm to directly translate, it says a child who doesn't listen to the laws of his or her parents, okay, he's going to listen to that one of the vultures or the eagle. Okay, notice that the word nom means any carnivore bird, okay, that eats meat. Okay, so this is an expression that we find, and this goes with honor your father and mother. Okay, because in Exodus 20 verse 12 it says, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Okay, so that is that. Okay, let's continue. Okay, point number 3, Modimo o rata lerito. Okay, that is a Setswana Sotho expression. Okay, Modimo o rata lerito. Why will the Tswana people and the Sotho people have such an expression? Because the Bible is their history. These are the children of Israel. These are the protected nation. These are the hidden ones. Okay, they have been hidden from the world. Okay, no wonder some people say the 10 lost tribes of Israel. You see, so these are the hidden ones, because the hidden ones, all of them are hidden. Okay, all of them are hidden. Okay, so we can look at Genesis chapter 8 verse 21. It says, and the Lord smelled a sweet savor. Okay, or savory or savor. And the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground. Okay, why is it that expression of a sweet savor? Okay, the Lord is happy. Okay, smelling the sweet savor. Okay, what is lerito? Okay, so it says that the Creator loves lerito. So lerito is actually a fresh juicy meat, for it's a young calf. Okay, so normally this meat is of high quality. As you notice, if you don't know, in Botswana so many people have expressed for Botswana beef, it's the best in the world. Okay, at least Steve Harvey have said that when he visited here. Obama and others have attested to, like even Oprah. He has said, the beef in Botswana tastes like no other. Okay, and this beef normally is exported to the European countries. Okay, to Europe. Okay, so and if you are in Botswana and you can come and visit my place and my home. on the feast days, I will give you, seswa, this meat that is very nice. Okay, anyway, without much talking, so yeah, Batswana have this expression, Modimo o rata lerito. Okay, so that is that. So this is taken Exodus 29 verse 18, and thou shalt burn the whole ram, okay, upon the altar. It is a burnt offering unto the Lord. It is a sweet savor, okay, an offering made by fire unto the Lord. Okay, that is why they are expressing that God likes this one. So if you sacrifice, and sacrifices are allowed, and it's the time, and you will receive blessings from the Lord. Okay, all right. Okay, so let's continue. Point number 4. Okay, molao go tsena wa thupa. Okay, that is an expression. It's a Setswana expression. Okay, so it has dual meaning, but in this case, we are not just talking about the stick. It says that the law that persists, if you like, is the one of using a stick. Okay, so in this case, corporal punishment or so. But this tupa can also actually means circumcision. Okay, so we're gonna read Exodus chapter 4 verses 24 to 26. Okay, so this is an incident whereby had not this circumcision law persisted, we wouldn't be talking about Moses. Maybe there was gonna be someone else, but thankfully Moses had a wife, Zipporah, who saved him, who saved his soul. Okay, let's read on. Verses 24. And it came to pass by the way in the inn that the Lord met him and sought to kill him. Okay, so the Lord was looking at he met Moses. So I suspect it must have been the afternoon maybe of the 8th day, because they were commanded that on the 8th day, when you have a boy child, you need to circumcise that child on that day. So probably the day was about to be over. So the Lord was like, this one, and so he sought to kill him. Then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at his feet and said, surely a bloody husband art thou to me. Okay, so he let him go. Then she said, a bloody husband thou art because of the circumcision. Okay, so now remember that this law was eternal. Okay, it was to be for generation and generation. Okay, so those who come and teach us lies that this law, you need to the Lord changed the New Testament. Israel is no longer the Lord's approved people. Actually, the Lord made a new covenant with the so-called churches. No. The Lord is an unchanging God. Okay, so now that is why Batswana, Basotho, they have this expression, molao go tsena wa thupa. That means that circumcision law persists. Okay, excuse me. Okay, expression number 5. That is why we say mangwana o tshwara thipa ka fa bogaleng. Okay, I like to believe that this have also reference to Zipporah, because what did Zipporah do? Okay, as the mother, probably maybe the child could have been maybe taken, or even the husband. So what does the mangwana do? So this intelligent, wise woman, okay, knowing understanding the laws of Modimo, our creator, she then had to chip in and protect her family. Okay, so that verse 25, then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at his feet and said, surely a bloody husband art thou to me. Okay, this actually shows you that women can lead where the condition is suitable. Where a man is not leading, women can actually lead. Where a man is foolish, where a man is at odds with the Most High, the Most High will allow women, to lead in terms of, bringing about righteousness and good and the will of the Most High. Okay. All right. Mangwana o tshwara thipa ka fa bogaleng. Okay. Expression number 6. Tsamaya le matlhale o tlhalefe. Okay. This one is simple and straightforward. Proverbs chapter 13 verse 20. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise. Okay, so it's just as it is. Walk with the wise people and be wise. Okay, if I'm to directly translate this expression. Okay, expression number 7. Montsamaisa bosigo ke mo leboga bosele. Okay. Montsamaisa bosigo ke mo leboga bosele. Okay, this is found in Psalms chapter 30 verse 5. I've highlighted it. They say weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. Okay, so that's what the translators were trying to say. So montsamaisa bosigo ke mo leboga bosele. Basically it's to do with difficult situations that if you are in helping somebody during that difficult time, it's some kind of investment that they will be thankful when that situation or when that problem has been dissolved. Okay, so they will maybe one day assist you. Okay, all right. Okay, expression number 8. Okay, go ongwa ka logare o be o beolwa ka lone. Okay. So go ongwa ka logare o be o beolwa ka lone. Okay, what does it mean? Okay, I will just read it as it is. Motho a tlhagisiwa ka selo mme e re ka go sa reetseng dikgakololo se be se mo diragalela. Okay, so now this is let's read the Judges chapter 16 verses 16 and 17. Okay, it says, and it came to pass when she pressed him daily with her words and urged him so that his soul was vexed unto death. Okay, this is the background is that he's speaking about Delilah. Okay, and then this was the Philistine woman. I remember Saul was not Saul. Samson. Samson had her as her spouse. Okay, or her girlfriend. I don't know. Okay, but she was pressing upon him. Where do you get this so much power? You are killing so many people. Because Samson was very strong that when he lifts up his hand, 100 men could fall and stuff like that. So now you remember that Samson was told even by his parents never to use razor, to cut off his hair. Okay, because the hair had a power, or his power was associated with his long hair. Okay, so that was a warning. So this expression means that you are given a warning, okay, about a particular thing, but you do not now listen to the advice, and then when you are in that particular situation, because of your stubbornness, okay, and failure to listen, the very same calamity happens upon you. Okay, so this is actually there's a Tswana expression that talks about if somebody so it's some kind of they're using illustrations that, a razor is somehow, what do you call it? Imitating throwing a razor upon you. and then and then it shaves you. Okay, if I'm to directly translate and this kind of thing, but those who are Tswana Sotho, they will know what we are talking about. So this expression is a biblical expression. Remember, I said that I'm saying the Bible is our history and our culture. So that is why these expressions are there. Okay. And so verse 7, that he told her all his heart, and said unto her, there hath not come a razor upon mine head, for I have been a Nazareth unto God from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man. Okay. So excuse me. So that's why Samson, came to his downfall. Okay. No wonder in the scriptures, the Lord, is telling us that don't give your strength or your power unto women. See. So examples of such who have fallen are like Samson, okay, like Solomon and all that. Okay. So this is an advice also to men who are married, who are in relationship, that do not go the way of Samson. Okay. To give all your strength and your power. Listen to the advice of man. Of the Most High. Okay, of Mudim. All right. I laughed in number 9. It says, "Hubipa mpaka mabele." Okay. The explanation is, "Go sireletsa wa ga eno o tshwanetse go mo otlhaya." Okay. So here the translators actually butchered this our language, Setswana and Sotho language. You see, because they do not have or know the intricate points or poems or expressions of our language. So listen to what what the translator wrote. Okay. Yeah, she exhorted every one of them in her own language, filled with courageous spirit, and stirring up her womanish thoughts. With a manly stomach, she said unto them. So the breasts, because you see, it's talking about putting your breasts, okay, hiding up the stomach. If I'm to directly just say it as it is and directly translate, but every Motswana person will know that what this means. Okay, what is it talking about? In 2nd Maccabees, actually, ke Magakabe, the so-called Maccabees, ke Magakabe. Okay, so discussing. There was a mother who had, I think, 7 sons. Okay, and the sons were obeying, okay, the law not to eat unclean animals, including swine. Okay, and particularly swine. Okay, so in fact there are penalties regarding this law. Some people say no. Some of these laws are outdated and all that, and we can just eat as much as we want. You are defiling yourself. It's a law of the Most High. Okay, do not eat swine. In fact, so these 7 sons, they would rather die than to eat swine or to taste it. Okay, so now rather than the mother, saving her children's, her 7 sons' lives by saying, just a compromise in this case. Okay, she stood firm, okay, and protecting her own, okay, And according to the so-called political law or the civil law, she was supposed to tell them to obey the king, okay, or the governor at that time. So that is where situations where you have to be on the side of the Most High, okay, like Daniel will rather be on the side of the Most High than to stop praying, okay, to disobey the civil leaders, okay, who had put up some signed a decree that anybody shouldn't pray to the living God, okay, they should pray to idolism, okay, so otherwise they are going to be executed. So these are the things that we need to stand firm for our our culture, our traditions, especially the traditions that that are in conformity with the Most High's laws, okay, like circumcision. Do not eat unclean things. Honor the Sabbath day, okay, and the 10 Commandments, okay, my brothers and sisters. Okay, so let's move on. I think I have the last one. Okay, expression number 10. Honna mafoko ka marago. Okay, this is a Setswana expression. You find it in Genesis chapter 31, verses 34 to 35. Okay, so what was happening here? Okay, now we'll read the story. Okay, verse 34. Now Rachel had taken the images and put them in the camel's furniture and sat upon them, and Laban searched all the tents but found them not. We recall that when when Jacob, who with his two wives, Rachel and Leah, when they left now, I think they didn't, they had to sneak out and they left, Laban. Laban was the father of Rachel and Leah. Okay, so they sneaked out and they left, and somehow this Rachel took these images, okay, of his father. So now he was furious and looking for them. Okay, so he caught up with them, and so this is what we are learning here, that that Rachel had taken the images and put them in the camel's furniture and sat upon them. Okay, that is why Setswana says this expression, the Setswana. So as he was sitting on these images, she refused to speak. So that is why we have this expression, because of this Rachel. Okay, verse 35. And she said to her father, let it not displease my lord that I cannot rise up before thee, for the custom of women is upon me. And he searched but found not the images. Okay, so the explanation here is that somebody hiding the secret or the truth, okay, not telling the truth, or where you have to be secretive. Okay, so that is what we get. Okay, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and more videos will be coming, hopefully, if not every day, after every other 2 or 3 days, because there is quite a lot of things to cover, and so this summer, hopefully, that's when maybe you will see my my face now. I've been dead, if you like, because the prophecy is that 42 months these two prophets, okay, meaning the house of Judah and the house of Israel, okay, lay dead in that city, okay, because they were it's talking about the 42 months of what? Of 49 Jubilee cycles, okay. So then it ends, Selemo, this Selemo. So that will be the end of that. And our people, that is why we count the years. If you go back to Ngwaga wa Setswana, we count years by the number of summers. Okay, so that's why it's selemo. So after that we'll be free, because no other, I mean, the beasts will have no power now over us. That's where the prophecy talks about the awakening of these two prophets. Okay, all right. Anyway, so I hope that you you learned something, and please ask a question if you have one. Comment, press the like button, subscribe, and invite your friends. Okay. Okay, so we'll end here. My name is Brother Moa Pare, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Okay, cheers.